Hello, this is Ghost Ripper. I thought I would read you a poem today, a poem of darkness. This poem is inspired by a curious incident, the eruption of Mount Tambora in Indonesia, which drastically altered the weather conditions across the world and led to 1816 being branded the year without a summer. So I'm going to leave the name of the poem and the person that wrote the poem. But here it is. Bear with me. It's my first time reading it, so wish me luck. I had a dream which was not all a dream. The bright sun was extinguished, and the stars did wander darkling in the internal space, rayless and pathless, and the icy earth swung blind and blackening in the moonless air. Morning came and went, and came and brought no day, and man forgot their passions in the dread of this their desolation. And all hearts were chilled into selfish prayer for light. And they did live by watchfires and the thrones, the palaces of crowned kings, the huts, the habitations of all things which dwell, were burnt for beacons. Cities were consumed, and men were gathered round their blazing homes, to look once more into each other's face. Happy were those who dwelt within the eye of the volcanoes in their mountain torch. A fearful hope was all the world contained. Forests were set on fire, but hour by hour they fell and faded, and the crackling trunks extinguished with a crash, and all was black. The brows of man by the despairing light wore an unearthly aspect. As by fits the flashes fell upon them, some lay down and hid their eyes and wept, and some did rest their chins upon the clenched hands and smiled, and others hurried to and fro and fed their funeral piles with fuel, and looked up with a mad disquietude on a dull sky. I'm probably saying that wrong, but here's the rest of the poem. The pall of a past world, and again with curse cast them down upon dust, and grossed their teeth and howled. The wild birds shrieked and terrified did flutter on the ground and flap their useless wings. The wildest brutes came tame and timorous, and vipers crawled and twinned themselves among the multitude, hissing but stingless. They were slain for food and war, which for a moment was no more. Did glut himself again. A meal was brought with blood, and each state sullenly apart, gorging himself of gloom. No love was left. All earth was but one thought, and that was death, imminent and ingorginous, and the pang of famine fed upon all entrails. Men died, and their bones were tombless as their flesh. The merger, I think, mirage, I'm sorry. The mirage by the marauders were devoured. Even dogs assailed their masters, all save one. And he was faithful to a course, and kept the birds and beasts and famous men at bay. Till hunger clung them, or the dropping dead lured their lynx jaws, himself sought out no food, but with the piteness and the perpetual moan, and a quick desolate cry, licking the hand which answered not, with the careless he died. The crowd was famished by degrees, but two of the enormous city did survive, and they were enemies. They met beside the dying embers of the altered place, where had been heaped a mass holy things. For an unholy usage they ranked up, and sibling scrapped with their cold skeleton hands, the feeble asses and their feeble breath, blew for a little life, and made a flame which was a mockery. Then they lifted up their eyes as it grew lighter, and beheld each other's aspect, saw, and shrieked, and died. Even of their mutual hideousness they died, unknowingly who he was upon whose brow famine had written fiend. The world was void, the populous and the powerful was a lump, seasonless, herbless, treeless, manless, lifeless, a lump of death, a chaos of hard clay. The rivers, lakes, and oceans all stood still, and nothing stirred within their silent depths. Ships, sailorless, lay rotting on the sea, and their masts fell down piecemeal. As they dropped, they slept on the abyss without surge. The waves were dead, the tides were in their grave. The moon, their mistress, had expired before. The winds were withered in the stagnant air, and the clouds perished. Darkness had no need of aid from them. She was the universe. There you go. She was the universe. And that is the end of this poem. Thank you for bearing with me. I'm thinking about doing this on Wednesdays, a video of poems. So, if you like this video, please give it a like. If you're not subscribed to my channel, subscribe to my channel and please share. Thank you. Have a nice day.